The president of the Republic of Congo, who has been accused of stealing billions of dollars and fixing elections, he was invited to the summit. Come on, have dinner at the White House. But the dictator of Zimbabwe, not so much. So who gets to play in Washington and who doesn't? That is an ongoing diplomatic dance. We asked former U.S. Ambassador for Special Affairs to the United Nations and the current CEO of Meridian International Center, that's a nonprofit that works with the UN, Stuart Holliday, about the controversy as to who attends.
There are countries that are here that we don't agree with on every policy. There are issues, for example, right now with Kenya, Equatorial Guinea, Nigeria. Good Luck Jonathan is here. We've got the Boko Haram issue. But in terms of the work that needs to happen here, it's important that those countries be represented. And I think that there are individual conflicts within a variety of these countries on the political transparency in certain cases, and America is a big believer in democracy and human rights.
Nigeria, though, is a democratic country. Maybe some issues, but democratic. But Ecuador not, right? So and a strong man in place.
Right.
So how are the decisions made about who gets invited and who doesn't get invited? Because Zimbabwe is not represented.
Right. Well, if you look at Zimbabwe or Eritrea, for example, you have countries that there are existing sanctions and that are clearly not part of the constructive process. And so in the case of those countries, or Central African Republic, for example, who has a leader that's been placed in through a coup. These decisions are made by the National Security Council in consultation with the State Department. There's obviously the African Union, which is a reference point. So for example, CAR is suspended from the African Union, and this is a regional conference, so we've got to consult with the African Union, and then the process goes into one of erring on the side of inclusion. Mm-hmm. So these weren't one-on-one meetings, as you know. It was a group setting, and so in a sense that insulates the president from the idea of a one-on-one photo op with a particular leader who we may not like.
Oh, and the State Department, when they make these decisions, I guess it's not a binary 1 or 0 decision, right? There's a totality that they look at and how bad somebody is?
Yeah, absolutely. And plus we have security priorities. The United States is invested in stability of Africa, and there's some problems, particularly in the Sahel. So yes, there's a balance. And I think when it gets to the point of really somebody that's clearly violated either international law or where there are sanctions placed against them, that makes it a lot clearer. But again, it's a subjective process, but they've erred on the side of inclusion in this case.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Is it better to be more inclusive than not inclusive, and then maybe invite everybody?
Well, in this case, I think it makes a statement. Most of these countries, if not all of them, are moving in the right direction. Again, we have a case, where you have certain people that have been in power probably too long, and there's a generational thirst for new leadership in some of these countries. But no, I think in the case of Mugabe, for example, there's clearly a pariah situation there. Now, should we have invited somebody from Zimbabwe? Yes, I think so. I think it's important to have everybody represented. But at the head of state level, maybe not.
And there's an economic point that's being made here, right? If you go down a certain path, you are going to be left out of billions and billions of dollars on the table.
That's right. This is it's a tool to use, and if those parties are not included in this, they're going to miss out on that economic benefit going forward.
In your opinion, did they make the right decisions?
I think they did, yes.